Picture this. You work all morning, and by lunchtime, your paycheck can't even buy you a sandwich. Sounds absurd, right? But this wasn't some dystopian fiction. It was reality in 1920s Germany. The Weimar Republic's currency collapse wasn't just an economic disaster, it was a societal meltdown that nearly destroyed a nation's future. Let's rewind to 1871. Germany's currency, the gold mark, was rock solid, backed by actual gold. But World War I changed everything. To fund the war effort, German leaders made a fateful decision. They abandoned the gold standard and fired up the printing presses. The Papiermark was born, and with it came the seeds of disaster. After Germany's defeat, the country faced crippling war debts. The Treaty of Versailles demanded a staggering 132 billion gold marks, an amount Germany simply couldn't pay. So they printed more paper money, hoping to buy their way out of trouble. But you can't create value out of thin air. By 1922, inflation spiraled out of control. Prices doubled daily. Workers got paid twice a day just to keep up. People carried cash in wheelbarrows, rushing to spend it before it became worthless. Savings built up over lifetimes vanished in months. Trust in the mark, once so solid it underpinned an empire, dissolved into panic and barter. The lesson is as simple as it is brutal. Money is not just paper or numbers on a screen, it's a promise backed by belief. When that belief falters, even the most sophisticated financial system becomes worthless. Scrap Weimar is the ultimate warning because it shows how quickly that unraveling can happen. There was no grand conspiracy, just leaders who believed they could bend economic reality to their will, and millions of ordinary people who paid for that illusion. Nearly a century later, we live in an age of digital money, quantitative easing, and trillion-dollar bailouts. It all feels more advanced, more resilient, but the foundation is unchanged: trust. No matter how modern our economies become, the temptation to quietly erode the value of money when debts mount never disappears. We give it new names: stimulus, unconventional monetary policy, financial engineering, but the human impulse is timeless. Yet history also shows that trust, once broken, is painfully hard to restore. It demands honesty, discipline, and a respect for the limits of what money can do. Countries that remember this, that guard their currencies like a precious promise, tend to build stronger, fairer, more stable societies. Those that forget it risk seeing their people hoard hard assets, barter for basics, and lose faith in the very idea of shared prosperity. Weimar endures in the world's financial memory not as a dusty relic, but as a living warning. Money is only as strong as the trust we place in it, and the discipline of those who manage it. May we remember what Germany learned too late. When trust in money unravels, so too can the bonds of a whole society.